Hey everyone, welcome back with Bean O'Mac, where we continue our reviews with the Aki series wrestling games. This time we take a look at what many hardcore wrestling game fans consider to be the ultimate wrestling gaming experience. Considering it sports the Aki grappling system and the developers have had years of amazing titles before this, it's very well possible. If you haven't heard of this game, it's simple. It's because it's Japanese exclusive. Released on January 28th of 2000, only those who reside in the land of the rising sun have had the pleasure to purchase this locally. But nowadays, with emulators, mods, and online sellers, we can experience this hidden gem for ourselves. But is it worth the hype? Let's find out. As always, let's start off with the roster. Now this game only has the rights to the All Japan Wrestling promotion. That includes Japan legends such as Mitsuharu Misawa, Giant Baba, Vader, Stan Hansen, Kenta Kobashi, but they didn't stop there. They have a wide variety of stars based off of other promotions, including New Japan and Michinoku Pro. MMA shoot fighting was a big deal in Japan at the time, and it was spliced into the wrestling scene. You had to be tough to make it in Japan. So, to reflect this, they added some top tier martial artists at the time from promotions such as Pride, Rings, and Pancrase. Even some unlockable Japanese legends are featured here, and some return from the original Virtual Pro Wrestling 64, including Andre the Giant, Ultimo Dragon, The Funks, Bruiser Brody, Abdullah the Butcher, Dr. Death Steve Williams, and more. Now, anyone who isn't a part of the actual All Japan Pro Wrestling roster have fictionalized names and likenesses, but you can find guides online that will fill you in. Check out Wrestling Video Game Secret videos on the roster conversions to show how the wrestlers from all promotions should look if you need help. It isn't a step-by-step guide, and they are just pictures, but it is better than nothing. Keep in mind though that this game has a lot of unlockables, so for some of the legends, you will need to play matches as them to unlock their proper attires. This is the same classic gameplay that Aki has become known for. Weak grapples, strong grapples, flick that stick for a sick finisher. Something returning from Revenge and Virtual Pro 64 is that some wrestlers have a combo meter that allows you to unleash a certain amount of strikes. This is mostly set to the MMA fighters, but a fantastic new feature is that certain wrestlers have access to super specials. These are once a match used finishers that unleash rare ultimate moves that the competitors in question only busted out on rare occasions. You can also set these moves to cause as well. Another new feature is the addition of running grapples. A major reason fans say this game is superior to other Aki titles is the frame rate. No matter what goes on screen, it stays consistent and smooth, unlike the WWF games where it slows down considering how many players there are on screen. This is especially noticeable in WWF No Mercy with fatal 4-way matches. Not Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 though. Smooth as butter. Or something. Honestly, the presentation in this game is pretty average for an Aki game. It's WrestleMania 2000 with a different coat of paint. The music is the same even. The arenas are based off of real Japanese stadiums and venues. We're gonna try not to mispronounce these, sorry in advance. Including the Nippon Budokan, the Kawasaki Stadium, the Korakuen Hall, and the Tokyo Dome. Once again, apologies if I mispronounce any of those. They are reminiscent of the arenas in World Tour with no stages, but there is a second Tokyo Dome arena with a stage for more traditional American fans. The entrances are also nothing special. The music plays. You see your wrestler staying in the locker room for like 10 seconds for some reason, and then they casually walk to the ring with no taunts or fanfare. It's a Japan thing, I guess. But what is cool is on your way to the ring, you can hold down one of the C buttons and cut a promo. You can even edit these so they say what you want them to. Once everyone is here, An announcer spills the rules and introduces the wrestlers, and it is pretty cool. Is stuck in my head and makes up for the lack of flashy entrances. It's just a Japan thing, I guess. Back with Exhibition, this time we have singles matches, tag team matches with tornado tag options, three-way matches, battle royals, and the return of the 5-on-5 elimination mode called Series. You pick up to 5 competitors for each team. Have one-on-one matches, and if you lose or hit a draw, you're eliminated, and this keeps going until one team's individuals are all eliminated to win. It's like Squad Strike from Smash Bros. Or Team Battle from the old Tekken games. A new match type, however, is a boxing-style rules match or an MMA-style match. You can have submission, KO, or a point system that can also come down to a judge's decision. It's very unique and gives a good reason to have all those boxers and mixed martial artists, and is overall a new type of game almost. All others are just returning modes with no cage or first blood match, but hey, it's a Japan thing, I guess. The classic round robin style tournament is back once again. Japan thing and whatnot, singles and tag are available with up to 12 entrants possible. Everyone faces each other, however the points have changed. 2 points for a victory and 1 for each participant when a draw occurs. 0 is for the loser still. If someone wins early, then we all get to go home early. This is just create a pay-per-view mode. We get a new menu background though with it, which for some reason is in complete English. The Great Entertainment. You want to give me a title shot or just prove your courage? Like, what? What is even the point of that? And who is it for? Anyway, back to the actual mode. You can have 3 saved at a time, but only 10 matches per card. I'm not totally sure, but because of the language barrier, I think it showed me how many people attended the event afterwards, which is kinda cool, but I'm not really sure what the numbers actually mean, to be honest. Other than that though, it is business as usual. Here is the edit mode, which is pretty similar once again to Mania 2000, which allows you to create up to 16 wrestlers. One thing that annoys me is that you have to clone each attire. It's nice that changing names doesn't affect the wrestlers' attires, but some sort of option for both would have been nice. Also, I'm pretty sure this game has every move in the series at this point and more. Turning on the game 20 times lets you all the WCW moves and taunts, while turning it on 40 times gets you the remaining moves from WrestleMania 2000. A side note here, but I love the unlock system in this game. I mentioned Super Smash Bros. Earlier. In the latest entry, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has a similar experience with unlocking as this game does. As stated, simply starting up the game gives you unlockables. Whenever you unlock a wrestler, certain conditions need to be met. Upon doing so, you are then taken into a match with said wrestler. Winning the match then unlocks them just like in Super Smash Bros. This is definitely the most fun I've had unlocking wrestlers in a wrestling game, period. There are a lot of unlockables though, so it's best to look up a guide for it or just use a Game Shark. Even the mod, Freems Edition, already has everything unlocked, but I've gotta say that this is my favorite part of the game. Back to edit mode though. Every move is here and the create options are fantastic. You can see the inspiration for No Mercy here, as shirt types are separated into lengths as well as the pants. There is a detailed mask editor and that's awesome. It stinks that we never got anything like this in a WWF game. I've always tried to create the Black Ninja and Hayabusa, only to give up upon the awful mask selection. That said, this game doesn't have a ninja mask either, but plenty of other options are here. I even made King from Tekken. You can pick themes and announcer intros as well as smack talk settings. It's an interesting adjustment dealing with the differences in measurement for height and weight. The sheer size of the moveset options and the exclusive choice of AI settings are what makes this game the GOAT for a lot of the wrestling fans. I myself struggle to enjoy creations such as The Rock and Stone Cold because they don't have their face models, but overall it's pretty great. The biggest complaint I have is the small space for naming wrestlers, but it's a Japan thing, I guess. This is a season mode similar to Road to WrestleMania and WrestleMania 2000. There aren't any pay-per-views really, but there are a few leagues that lead to title matches, and it's how you unlock the Triple Crown Create a Belt option. Also, there is the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which the man himself joins in, and is how you unlock the Giants. A pretty fun mode overall, but it's really just match after match like previous single-player campaigns, but a little bit longer. Tournament is identical to Mania 2000's King of the Ring. Singles or tag, up to 16 participants, single elimination, last man standing wins. Next. The final mode is just an other tournament type, but you can enter your name and select your fighter per match. After the tournament, then you can see the rankings of how everybody was, and you can come back and have more matches for essentially a King of the Hill mode. Nothing different other than that, but hey, it's a Japan thing. All in all, a solid title. I think if you're not a Japanese wrestling fan or a hardcore wrestling fan, this really won't be worth the effort. However, maybe something like Freem's Edition mod that translate everything would be better if you're interested, but this game has a lot to offer and packed to the gills with content. It's just that it's not a game I imagine appeals to the traditional casual wrestling fan who cares more about theatrics and larger-than-life feels than presentation. AI and scrolling through hours of moves isn't for everyone, but for those who enjoy it, this game is a paradise and well worth the effort of at least trying out once. This might upset some people, but I give this game an 7.5 out of 10 personally. But y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and want to see more reviews, playthroughs, comparisons every single Sunday. And remember, have a nice day. You can even edit these so they say what you want them to. Once everyone is here, the announcer will... That was so fucking close. That was so fucking close. The All Japan Pro Wrestling promotion that includes Japan legends such as... Gets me every fucking time.